What takes average bread to the next level? Beer. This Easter, I'm making bread to have for dinner. This is a fun sourdough recipe to share with friends and family. The steps that I'm going to take to make sourdough beer bread are getting my ingredients, measuring out the ingredients, creating the dough, letting the dough rise, knead the dough, and bake. The 8 ingredients you need for sourdough beer bread are oats, sourdough starter, beer, salt, molasses, yeast, bread flour, and water. Pour half a cup of boiling water over the oats. Just half a cup. Okay, do I stir when I do it? Put 3½ cups of flour into a mixing bowl. Pour 1 cup of sourdough starter into the mixing bowl. Next, you need 1 teaspoon of yeast. This one's for you, Amy.
I am over 21 and I did buy the beer.
Open up your beer and pour it into the bowl. And finally, stir until a dough is formed. Cover the dough and leave it for 30 minutes to rise. Put 1 tablespoon of molasses into the dough. Next, put your soaker into the dough with the molasses. And finally, put 2 teaspoons of salt into the dough. Get a clean surface and put some flour down on it. After there's flour, you can start kneading the dough. Form the dough into a ball-like shape and then put it into the bowl to let it rise for an hour. After an hour of rising, you're going to punch the dough to get the air out of it, and then taking it from the bowl. You're going to place it into a towel in a bowl with flour on it to finish rising. After letting the bread rise for 2 hours, preheat the oven to 450. After the oven has preheated, spray some oil on the parchment paper for the bread to go on. Once you've spread the parchment paper, you're going to flip the bread onto the pan. Before putting the bread in the oven, you need to score the bread. Once the bread is scored, you put it in the oven and bake it for about 45 minutes. Bread is finished! You know it's done when it's crispy brown, and when you knock it, it's hollow. And lastly, cut the bread to enjoy. These are the steps to making sourdough beer bread. You need to get the ingredients, put the ingredients together to make the dough, let the dough rise, and then bake. So what kind of bread are you gonna make?